Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Joy with Intention. I'm your host Joy, so lovely to have you guys here. So today we will be talking all about no, I will basically be giving you the pep talk you always needed, or maybe you need right now. If you don't need this right now, maybe you don't need to listen to this episode right now. But when you need it, when you're feeling the most demotivated, you really can't get that discipline in. You've got these goals to achieve, but you just don't have the energy or the effort. This is the episode for you. So, you've stuck around because you need this little pep talk of motivation right now. Okay, let's get into it. So maybe you have these goals, you have these aspirations. Maybe you want to get better grades. Maybe you want to start going to the gym. Maybe you want to be able to actually run a 10, 15K. Maybe you want to be able to actually put out those episodes on that YouTube channel. There's videos. Maybe there's loads of different possible things that you could want to do, and there's different goals. Everyone has goals. I mean, everyone should have goals. If you don't have goals, then that's a bit concerning. But even if they're short term or they're long term, they're still goals and they're still achievable. So with goals always comes intention. Are you going to put the intention towards those goals? What is the intention behind those goals? And what is the intention for when you do achieve those goals? How are you going to maintain them? How are you going to upkeep them? Are you going to be intentional with how you get them and how you achieve them? Are you even going to be able to find another goal to achieve to complement that goal? You know what I mean? So, one thing I want to tell you right now is tell yourself to get up. Like, girl or guy, get up. Because sometimes it's so hard, especially because sometimes we start to loathe in our little victim mentality, or we get too comfortable in our little comfort zone. But you need to actually tell yourself to get up. Like, literally, maybe you're in bed and you're lying around right now and you just don't want to move at all. You don't want to get up and you don't want to do anything. Tell yourself, get up. Like, literally, even if you need to become like that really, really, really scary fitness instructor that you'd always be scared of. Like, you're on the treadmill, you're running, and then after you see you slacking, and immediately you start running faster all over again. Like, you pick yourself back up. Be that instructor for yourself. If you need to, even get friends to be that accountability that you need. Having friends is that accountability that you need is so, so vital. Tell your friends. Don't just tell anyone. Tell friends that you really, really trust. Even if those friends are literally your siblings or your cousins, or they're really, really, really close friends that you know and that you can trust. Tell them, and they will, and know that they will help you. Also trust them that they will help you get back up. They will be your accountability partner. And especially, it would be so, so helpful, especially if they have goals too, and you're both just working alongside each other. When one steps, you'll be motivating each other to help with your own goal. Or maybe because sometimes, talking about motivation can be something good when used in moderation, but motivation is not always a good thing to lean on. In fact, it never is, because motivation is fleeting. It will come, it will go, it will come, it will go. Sometimes it will go less than it comes. That's just the reality of it. But then you have to be able to lean into discipline and self-discipline. Now, when I started running in January, I haven't done it for a while, but I need to get back into it because I truly miss it. But when I was running, that was a way that I managed to break that mental barrier. That was a way because there's so many things, especially because procrastination is another type of fear, right? Most of the things we'll end up not doing them subconsciously because it's fear. We think we can't do it. That's why in running, especially in running, they say you basically think you can't do it. That's because there's a mental barrier behind that telling you I can't do it. You get to a certain point and you can't keep going those laps because there's a mental barrier in your mind that you need to break so you can actually push through and go through, because your body has the full capacity to do it, But because your brain has so much dominance over the rest of your body, if your brain says you can't do it, you will not be able to do it. So, running or doing exercise, a form of fitness, I highly recommend for everyone, because once you push through that pain, that physical pain, or that physical tiredness or fatigue, or that physical weariness, you start to break that mental barrier. So, like, when the first time I started running, I did a 5K. I had never ran before that. And it was getting so hard. It was the only thing that kept me going was that my friend Katie was there holding me all along the way, and she was like, "We're not gonna stop. We've got to get to the finish line. We've got to get to the end." And that's also why having good friends around you and good friendships around you is so important, because never mind even just in fitness, just in life as well, having friends who will be like, yeah, let's go to the end line together, we will finish this together. There's no other way out of this than getting to the end line, to the finish line together. We are going to see this through because we started this, and we are going to finish what we started. So having friendships like that is so key. So yeah, as we were going through the run, she was telling me, "See, you're breaking that mental barrier. You think you can't do this, but you can." Because I was getting to a point where I was like, I don't know what it was. I could just feel like I was starting to think, okay, I can actually do this. Not like all of a sudden I've had this massive epiphany, like, wow, yeah, let's do this, let's go. And I started sprinting. No, I was like fighting for my life. I was suffering. I literally, for most of it, I couldn't lean on my own strength. We were literally linking and running as we were going. But I could tell that my mental barrier was starting to break more. And those thoughts that were just telling me, you can't do this, no, there's not even any point, it's too overwhelming. You might as well not even start, you can't even do it, there's not enough time. Those thoughts that just come and they just knock you down, and any type of hope that you had towards your goal or towards the end line, those thoughts just come and knock it down. Well, that mental barrier started to break. It started to break. And maybe there's something that in your life that you want to achieve. Maybe there's a goal that you want to achieve, or something that you wanna aspire to. You're aspiring to. You have goals. You have visions. That dream was planted in your heart for a reason. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That dream was planted in your heart for a reason. And if you put your head towards it, you can achieve it. Because one thing I know about you is that you always get things done, and you always put your mind to something and you'll always get it. So I want you to pick yourself up right now, and you're going to tell yourself, I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Maybe you want to finally start getting your relationship with the Lord right. Maybe you want to start mending your relationship with your parents or with your siblings or with your or certain friendship. Maybe you want to finally work for that promotion. Maybe you want to finally achieve that fitness or that body goal that you have. Maybe you want to get those certain grades or get into that certain level of education. Whatever it is, even if it's like an instrument or anything, it it all requires you breaking that mental barrier. And sometimes you have to find something that will force you to break that mental barrier to be able to achieve that. So say that for me that was running, because that was something in PE I always hated it. I just always hated it completely. I'd start and then I'd stop and then walk basically all the way through. And then because I was always one of the last ones, I'd be like, there's not even any point. I can't do it. But then I realized, no, but this is a victim mentality I'm holding on to. Who says that I can't progress from here? Who says I can't get better from here onwards? Who says that I can't make any progress from here onwards? Who says that where I am right now, this is where I am going to be forever? Who says that I can't put my head down and focus and work on it and work on myself and keep developing and actually start realigning my thoughts with the goals and the dreams that I have? Who says? Because most likely it was you who told yourself that lie and you kept repeating it over and over again in your brain. You just kept saying it over and over again in your brain. And because, if you keep saying it over and over again, it will become a thought belief. It will become true in your mind. So you just keep saying it over and over again until you eventually believe it. So now your body believes it and your brain believes it. And now you start to act in accordance with that lie pattern. But you know what? We're gonna come against that right now. We're gonna come against that right now. We're gonna say no. We're gonna say no. We have so much potential in us, and we can do whatever we set our minds to. We just need to finally believe in ourselves. Because especially sometimes we spend so much time believing in other people and seeing the potential in other people. But then we forget we have so much potential within ourselves too. We have so much to give and so much to offer. And sometimes you won't even notice until you actually spend time alone with yourself and you get to know yourself. Figure out what you do like, what you don't like. You start to actually develop a relationship with yourself. That's when you start to realize, oh my gosh, I actually do bring stuff to the table. And then you start to also be able to realize your flaws and your weaknesses and things you can improve. Because also a big part of maturing is realizing that you also need to self-reflect on yourself. You also have things in yourself that you will need to work on, you will need to progress on. We're always making mistakes as humans, and that's okay. But that's also a key part because we are always evolving and changing and developing as humans. Change is such a key part to being human. And if you're not changing and developing as a person, then I think there's also something concerning there because that means you're stagnant. And if you're not progressing or changing, or, even if it's just by 1% each day, you're not progressing at all, then it does get a bit concerning because why aren't you? And that's something that you need to focus on. Is it from the surroundings you're in? Is it a thought pattern that you have? Is it the way you keep treating yourself? Is it the way you keep thinking of yourself? Is it the way you keep speaking to yourself? Is it the people you hang around? Is it the way you treat the people around you? What is it? Look deep into it. And once you do, come against it, especially because sometimes there can also be generational curses or um generational things that go down the bloodline. Maybe it started with your grandparents. There was a line of divorce that was just going, and I would just drop down to your parents and drop down, then drop down, then drop down, and you're seeing it's going on. Or maybe you're seeing a line of failed relationships, or unsuccess, or just poverty. You're just seeing these lines that are just going through your bloodline. And once you realize that that's actually the root is in your bloodline, come against that in the name of Jesus. Come against it, and you start to combat it, and you become the prototype. You change the name for the future of your bloodline and for the future of your family. And sometimes it may not even be for your family, but even just for someone else to be inspired by you. And know that, you know what, if they did it, so can I. So can I. And I feel like that's a really powerful story to have as well. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I know that you can achieve whatever you want to. And I know that you can do it and you will do it. You just need to put your mind towards it and actually go for it. And especially because sometimes, what's it called? Procrastination can literally be rooted within fear. Maybe you have a certain fear that you're masking or that you're hiding, but you don't even realize that it's fear. Look deeper down beneath the surface about why you're actually so hesitant to do this. Why you're just putting it off over and over again. Especially if you've listened to procrastination so long, then you realize, okay, I need to stop this. You want to? It's like I have goals that I want to achieve and I've put them off for so long, but it's only now I'm going to start actually going for them. I'm going to start actually rooting for them, because especially, guys, tomorrow is not guaranteed. I feel like, yeah, we definitely have this sense of entitlement that we will have tomorrow. We will wake up tomorrow. We will have even just get to the end of this day. But that's not set in stone at all. And you've got to think, what kind of mark do you want to leave on this earth? What kind of mark do you want to leave on this planet? What do you want people to remember you by? What do you want people to remember you as? You know? What change do you want to make in this world whilst you're still in it? It's one thing to just complain about the world and say, oh, we live in a horrible world, the world's deteriorating. But can't you still be part of a change in the world, just even if it's little by little? Just maybe even volunteering for a charity, maybe donating to a charity, maybe just doing some volunteer work, helping out around the home, helping out in school, in your workplace, showing, maybe just extending a smile or an act of kindness to someone else, being selfless for one day. Well, we should always be selfless, but just choosing to actively be more selfless, there's like so many ways that we can actually start to put change into our world. And it doesn't even have to be the whole world in general. It can literally be the tiny world around you, or just be the difference in someone else's world as well. Especially because for Christians as well, for some people, we will be the only Bible they ever get to read. Will be the only Bible they ever get to read. And you know how short life is. You know how short life is. If they never get to see the goodness of God through you, that'll be so sad, because we all have the potential, and you definitely have the potential to achieve everything that you want to. But it's just, you need to believe that you can. Because if you believe you can, you will. If you tell yourself that you can, you will. Even if you're delusional, sometimes, but delusion can actually work in your favor. Let's be Delulu. Let's be Delulu. If you're delusional, be delusional with conviction. You know what I mean? Tell yourself, you know what, I can do it and I will do it. And I know these can come through by the grace of God. These can happen and they will happen. So let's go. Let's do it. You believe that you can, and you will. Because if you can't live a happy life with a negative mindset or with a negative thought pattern. You can't feel confident, but then you're constantly down talking yourself. It just doesn't make sense, and that's something I'm learning too. It's a hard journey, I won't lie, it's a hard journey, but it's very much worth it. Yeah, this episode is so messy because I've not got any notes. I'm literally going off the top of my head. But I just thought this had to be said. I really just thought this had to be said, honestly. But whatever it is that you want to do, you do it. You go straight ahead. And if there's anyone who tries to put doubt in your mind about it, or tries to limit you or tell you that no, you can't really do it, oh, maybe you should aim for something a bit easier, more in your reach, no, shut that down. Shut that down, or just walk away. Because don't allow anyone else, because most of the people, they don't know what you've walked through to get here. They don't know what you've had to fight through to get here. They don't know what you had to experience to get here. But you've gotten here, and they've only seen a tiny part of you. They've only seen the part of you now. Maybe some people have struggled, they've battled through drug addictions, alcohol addictions, they've struggled through abusive and toxic relationships, they've struggled through all kinds of things, and now they're healed, they're redeemed, they're now fully back on track, they're now in a well better place in their life. And maybe someone that's the only version of them they'll see. And now they'll be like, they won't know their story. They won't know what that person has had to walk through and fight through. They won't know how tough a skin that person has been forced to develop because of the way life has treated them. And they won't know how hard that person has become. They've not become cold-hearted, but they've become strong and tough and resilient. And they've become more confident because of that. They've become more confident in the sense that they now believe they can do anything that they set their mind to. Because if they could go through that, they could sure go through this. And now they intimidate other people, but they don't know their backstory. They don't know how they got there. They don't know what they fought through to get there. They don't know what you fought through to get here. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know what only you and God have witnessed together. They don't know. So when other people come and they'll say, people can say anything that they want because words do turn into air, but don't let them break you. I'm going to tell you right now, don't let them break you. You've got a goal for a reason. You've got that goal and dream in your heart for a reason. You have tunnel vision and you go straight ahead. Just because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel does not mean it's not there. You keep going and you do not give up on yourself. You do not give up on yourself, especially if you're a parent. Once your kids see that you're not giving up on yourself, they're immediately going to learn that they should never give up on themselves too. You know? And they won't give up on you either. And don't give up on the people around you. You know what I mean? Keep going because I know you can do it. I'm telling you right now, I'm basically screaming down this microphone, like shouting in your ear. Like, you can do this, and I know you can. I know you have all the potential to, but maybe you just need to believe in yourself a little more, or maybe you just need to do it. Maybe you just need to do it. Because I'm telling you, what if that leap of faith that you took, what if that was about to be a big breakthrough? What if that was about to change your life? What if that was about to open doors to you that you never knew would be open to you? What if you were going to meet people that were going to just leap you until to the next level of your life that you never thought you could leap onto and achieve? Honestly, I truly believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. You just need to simply do it. Just do it. I know you can. And I'm rooting for you, honestly. I'm rooting for you. That's why I'm creating this safe space, this little community on my socials. I'm creating a community because we can all grow and thrive together, you know? And I want to see you guys succeed. I truly do. I want to see you guys start to feel comfortable in your own skin, start to feel like you can do things, you know? You can actually start to make an impact in this life. You're not just here to exist, but you're here to live and experience the whole world as it is. You know, open yourself to experiences that you never thought you could. Maybe you want to study abroad or live abroad or travel abroad. Do it. Maybe you want to meet new different people. Do it by all means. And, you know, especially, you know, I remember Charlotte Gamble came to our church 2 weeks ago, and she was saying, you know, God has put an anointing on your life, but he does not care whether other people give their approval or not, because he doesn't care about your approval on the life of someone he's already anointed. You know, so other people will say things because other people do not know the whole story. They don't. So stop looking into what other people say. Okay? Stop looking into what other people say. And know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And for the record, if no one's told you, I am so proud of how far you've come. And you should be so proud of yourself. Like, acknowledge your wins. Like, don't worry. Like, I feel like there's definitely a difference between vain and actually just generally being proud of yourself and celebrating your wins. Because the same way you can celebrate other people's wins, you can celebrate yours. Because especially if no one else is going to celebrate with you, celebrate alone. Then don't be afraid to. Because you deserve to feel proud of yourself and acknowledge how far you've come and how much progress you've made. Because you're an amazing human, and you deserve to feel like it and celebrate that. And sometimes there will be seasons where you won't have people around you, but that's okay. Embrace them. But then there will be seasons where you'll be filled with so much community, and embrace those too. You know? So yeah. I just hope this episode really inspired you. I remember self-discipline is way more effective than motivation. Most of the time we will need self-discipline. And once you start leaning into self-discipline, that's when your life will start to change. So yeah, that's what I have to say today. Self-discipline over motivation. Because self-discipline is you still choosing to get up every day, even if you can't do 100%, and literally 20% is all that you can give, then you give that 20%. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I have to say. You guys, you got this. You go ace whatever it is you want to do. You can do it. Start telling yourself that you can. Counter those thoughts. Counter those thoughts. They'll happen. Just let them happen. You know, because negative thoughts, they're normal, they're part of life. But then again, don't wallow in them and don't let them become something bigger than they actually are. They're just negative thoughts. That's all they are. Don't validate them and give them any stronghold and power and authority. They don't deserve that. Just let them pass. Just let them pass. They're going to happen. It's okay. Just let them pass. That's normal. Just let them go over. Let them fly over like a rain cloud and pick yourself up and keep going. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of you guys, and I know that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. And I truly hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, week, weekend, whatever time you're listening. Connect with me on socials, you guys. Let me know what you're putting your mind to, what you're trying to achieve. Also on that note, be careful who you do tell your goals to, because especially not everyone does have good intentions. That's why I say, if you're telling your goals to people, make sure they're people you really trust, because then again, not everyone has good intentions. So yeah, just be careful. But yeah, I really, yeah, I'm really rooting for you guys. So yeah, connect with me on socials. Let me know how you guys are doing. I really to love to stay in contact with you guys. And yeah, give me a rate on Apple Podcasts, a review on Apple Podcasts, and same on Spotify, or wherever you're listening. It really helps support the show and push it out there a lot more if you like it. Whatever you think, say it with chest, you know what I mean? And if you're listening on YouTube, see if you want to, you can subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. And yeah, thank you so much for being around here, guys. I love you guys so much. I will be seeing you next week. And yeah, have a blessed week, you guys. Love you always. Bye.